Well, another day in the neighborhood, folks, and they can't elect the speaker, y'all. So today, Jim Jordan lost again. Lost more. He got fewer votes than he did just a couple days ago, and it was utterly hilarious. Just roll the video.
The tellers agree in their tallies that the total number of votes cast is 433, of which the Honorable Jim Jordan of the state of Ohio has received 199. The Honorable Hakeem Jeffries of the state of New York has received 212. The Honorable Kevin McCarthy of the state of California has received 5. The Honorable Byron Donalds of the state of Florida has received 1. The Honorable Tom Emmer of the state of Minnesota has received 1. Lee Zeldin of the state of New York has received 3. The Honorable Steve Scalise of the state of Louisiana has received 7. The Honorable Mike Garcia of the state of California has received 1. Candace Miller of the state of Michigan has received 1. John Boehner of the state of Ohio has received 1. The Honorable Kay Granger of the state of Texas has received 1. The Honorable Bruce Westerman of the state of Arkansas has received 1. No person having received a majority of the whole number of votes cast by surname, a speaker has not been elected. Pursuant to Clause 12A of Rule 1, the chair declares the House in recess, subject to the call of the chair.
Okay, I know some of y'all at home are laughing just like I am. Keep in mind, the Constitution does not require that a Speaker of the House actually be a House member. So you heard John Boehner. He's a former House member, former Speaker of the House. And so anybody, I mean, any one of us could actually be voted upon as Speaker of the House. Just want to let you know that. But if you want to see how deranged these people are, this is former Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Yesterday, but I want to hear y'all who he's blaming for the problem. This is too funny.
McCarthy. Let's listen to Kevin McCarthy here.
Now we have rules. We don't have to be stuck on the floor. The interesting part of why we're here, every single Democrat voted to stop one branch of government. They created this mess with 8 Republicans. Every single Democrat did that. And so I think what we'll do is we'll go sit down. We'll talk to those that have difference of opinion and come back.
Did the margin surprise you? Excuse us.
Thank you.
Do you feel bad for Mr. Do you feel bad right now for Mr. Jordan? You threw your support for him. Do you feel bad for him?
No. Don't over read into this. This is about the same vote I had on my first vote out. Why we're in the no. Let's go back to how it got here. We wouldn't be here if every single Democrat didn't vote with 8 Republicans to shut this place down. That's it. No,
Republicans voted against Jim Jordan today on the floor, including 2 votes from somebody who's not even a member anymore.
Every single Democrat and 8 Republicans voted to shut down one branch of government. That is why we're here today. There's no other reason why we're here today but because of that. Now we had a vote on the floor. It didn't get to the whole point. Now we'll take a break, talk to people, and come back and solve it.
So how long? Is this going to be today?
Well, I'm confused. That's sort of like, that's sort of like me being in a Panhellenic meeting and I go, look, we lost the vote because the Omegas and the Kappas voted against us. And if Alphas voted against us, I'd be like, how you complaining about them when your own members voted against you? That's literally where these people are at now. So the new talking point for them is, oh, this went badly because those damn Democrats, they're the ones. How dare they vote against us? Not we can't get our act together. Not we don't know what the hell we doing. No. We gonna sit here. We gonna blame the other party. Same thing happened on CNN. This is so hilarious, y'all. I saw this earlier. I had to play it for you. Watch this.
Austin Scott, who lost the conference nomination to Jordan last week, but is now firmly behind Jim Jordan. Sir, thanks so much for being with us. Should he keep going? Should Jim Jordan continue as his aides say he will?
Oh, yeah, I think he's going to continue. And if you remember what happened last time, I think it took Speaker McCarthy somewhere around 14 rounds. Brianna, we shouldn't be in this position. I mean, 208 Democrats voted with 8 Republicans to put us here.
But let me ask you, sir, he was never... McCarthy was never in a hole this deep.
I'm sorry?
McCarthy was never in a hole this deep.
But Speaker McCarthy was elected, and he was the Speaker of the House. He was the largest Republican fundraiser ever for us as House Republicans. I mean, the Democrats knew what they were doing when they put up 208 votes to take him out of the speakership, and that's what created the current situation that we're in. So then we had a conference meeting.
They didn't take him out of the speakership. I mean, you guys are the majority. But you guys are the majority, right?
96% of the votes came from Democrats, though, Brianna. I mean, just factually speaking, there were only 8 Republicans, and there were 208 Democrats. I mean, 208 Democrats.
But, sir, who's in the majority?
Well, the Democrats were the majority of that vote, and when we have a very
who's in the majority in the House of Representatives?
The Republicans are in the majority, but the Democrats provided the majority of the votes to take Kevin McCarthy out of the speakership. In fact, they provided 96% of the votes.
Republicans provided the key votes. They're in the majority. They can provide enough votes, obviously, to put a Republican speaker
Brianna,
in
the
place.
Democrats provided 96% of the votes. 208 Democrats voted to remove the Republican Speaker of the House. 8 Republicans voted to remove the Republican Speaker of the House. So 96% of the votes came from Democrats to remove the Republican Speaker of the House.
I will say, I find
it the largest fundraiser that we've ever had. They knew what they were doing.
It's some interesting verbal gymnastics. I will give you that. But I want to talk about the future here.
What do you mean gymnastics? I'm just talking about the facts. 208 Democrats voted. They were the vast majority of the vote to take Kevin McCarthy out of the speakership.
Well, I'm talking about how it works. And that is that the majority in the House of Representatives, your party, is responsible for electing the speaker, not the Democrats.
We are.
Do you think, can I ask you this, do you think that there's going to be another vote today? Because we're uncertain on that.
I absolutely believe there will be another vote today. And, you know, I don't know exactly what time that will be. But I'm not sure what I'm missing here with you, because 208 Democrats voted with 8 Republicans to take the largest Republican fundraiser out of the speakership. This was a pretty calculated decision by the Democrats. I get it. It was 8 Republicans.
Here's why, sir, because it was a Republican who filed the motion to vacate.
It was a Republican that had very, very personal differences with Kevin McCarthy.
All right, so Jordan lost 22 Republicans.
So, Rebecca, what he's saying is, damn it, they have too much unity. And we don't. So it's their fault. They're unified.
And these are the same people who are going from school board meeting to school board meeting, determining what curriculum is being taught to students. And they can't even do math, you know. And he's also that guy, that particular guy, Congressman Scott, is going to get reelected again in Georgia. So there's a part of me that really wants Hakeem Jeffries to take out an ad in the Washington Post tomorrow and say, hey, look, this is the prisoner's dilemma. I got 5 slots for y'all. The first 5 Republicans who come over and decide that you're going to go ahead and coalesce with the Democratic caucus, we're not going to run anyone against you. Like right now, there's 18 Republicans who are in Biden districts. I do think there could be a deal that could be cut to actually make Hakeem Jeffries the Speaker of the House in this particular Congress. I'm not sure if Democrats actually want to help Republicans solve this issue, but I think it would be. And I don't think they should help Republicans solve this issue. But I will say I personally would rather a Speaker Hakeem Jeffries in this particular Congress than a Speaker fill in the box on the other side. So I do think that is something that could be on the table. I'm just not sure if strategically, if Democrats think it's a good idea. They might think that, hey, if we allow Republicans to continue to flounder, that guarantees that we get back the majority November 2024. And that is a deferred calculation. Or they could calculate now and figure out if it's worth actually getting that speakership in this Congress.
President Biden was on the plane, and he got asked this question here. I'm feeling what he had to say.
I mean, what?
Do you have a view of Jim Jordan's current predicament and unable to secure the speakership?
I ache for him. No. Zero. None.
Mr. President?
I mean, what?
He said, I ache for him. No, zero. Hell no, Joe. I ain't helping y'all with a damn thing. If I'm Hakeem Jeffries, I'm gonna sit over there and chill. I'm gonna let them introduce me again. I'm gonna keep getting my 212. I'm gonna let them fools over there look stupid every day.
You keep asking me these questions where I have to answer by quoting Bishop Bullwinkle. Hell to the no. And so basically what has to happen is, see, America needs to understand that when you have the folks in charge that you have, and folks that at least some of whom are okay with seeing the world burn, there's going to be consequences. Sometimes, I understand grace and mercy and everything else. But I remember there'd be times when, whether it's your mama or your minister, somebody would say, you know what, at some level, someone needs to feel the consequences of what it is that they're doing. And the American people need to see that these guys aren't on the same page, even as it comes to much of anything, to be honest with you. And the idea that Jim Jordan would be considered at all. This guy's been in Congress over a decade, has not passed one bill that he's proposed. Not nary, N-A-R-Y, not nary a one, not even one. And the Speaker of the House is supposed to run the Congress and move legislation. What would he possibly know about that? We would be shut down in no time. And so they need to feel the consequences of their action. I think Rebecca's scenario is a very interesting one, but I think what probably happens is Patrick McHenry gets some expanded powers and a deal with Democrats that guarantees that certain business gets brought up. I think that that's probably a little bit more likely. I like Hakeem for 2024. Man, you let these cats do this another 2 or 3 weeks, and a lot of guys on the Republican side are going to be in trouble, at least enough to make a difference and turn it around. But it's absolutely not their responsibility to bail them out of the bad mistakes that they made. McCarthy wanted to be Speaker so bad, he made a deal with the devil to do it, which is fundamentally unstable. It should never be that one person with a personal grudge could bring a floor vote to have the Speaker removed. It should never happen, particularly with them knowing what's going on in their party. It's like the person that that goes and hangs out with the snake and lays with the snake and walks around with the snake, and they end up either getting suffocated or they get bit. And they go, wait, I treated you nice or whatever else. And the snake goes, but you knew you was a snake when you got with me, when you brought me in here. I don't belong here. If I'm a snake, somebody's a snake. Snakes do what snakes do. And so therefore, the Republicans have to lay in the bed that they made, and the Democrats have to stay on the same page. And hopefully something will get done to allow the business of the country to get done. But the Republicans' issues are on full display. And what's going on is true. It's not an anomaly. That's where we were going to be, and that's why we are here now.
Robert, here's how stupid these people are. These nutcases on the right literally have been threatening the spouses of Republicans, sending them threatening text messages, and then saying you're going to have challengers if you run again. Here is one of those Republicans speaking about that issue. Give me 1 second, pull this up. Because I thought this, first of all, again, this is dumb. You got no votes to spare, but you out here threatening people. You already got that fool Sean Hannity. His producer's been sending threatening emails, Robert. But here is Don Bacon talking about these threats.
And it backfires. You can win us over some of the younger folks, maybe that kind of works, but someone like me, Steve Vollmack, Mario Diaz-Balart, you can win us over with an argument that makes sense. You're going to have to convince us, right? And threatening us does not work.
Not only threatening them, you sending threatening messages to their spouses? Nah. I think if Jim Jordan, I saw one report they may take another vote tomorrow, he gonna lose more votes.
Well, see, the issue is that Jim Jordan ain't got the juice like that. And nobody sits around saying, well, if I don't have Jim Jordan support, I can't get reelected in my district. I mean, he ain't got the juice like that to be threatening people. And so, of course, I'm going to take umbrage if somebody who comes threatening me, well, I know you ain't got it like that. Yes, we're going to have, if it was Nancy Pelosi who says to a freshman, look, if you don't support me, you're not getting reelected, she got the juice. So you know you have to get in line. He does not. But as much as I would love to be a political nihilist in this situation and watch Republicans burn themselves to the ground, the problem is we're on the same plane with them. So they go down, we go down also. We have a federal government that will close down in less than 30 days unless there's a continuing resolution or a budget deal. We're entering into the fall or into the winter of a before election year, meaning that whatever business of this country needs to get done by the week after Thanksgiving, or it ain't getting done. So that means everything from a continuing, from a omnibus spending bill that's going to have to get done. That means social services. That means setting up the budgeting for next year. So we have some actual adult things that need to get done. In addition to two wars going on internationally where the United States is supposed to be the hegemonic power of the world. So as much as it will be fun to watch Republicans emulate as much as possible, I think that coalition speaker has to happen. Jim Jordan is not going to be able to bring together the Republican Party, but I do think Hakeem Jeffries can find 5 swing state Republicans and carve out a governing coalition. You can get a governing coalition in the Senate. You can get a governing coalition in the House. Regardless of who the speaker is, you have to find a way to get things done, because otherwise it's one thing to watch their plane go down. It's another thing when you're on the same damn plane with them and not going to go down with the ship because of them.
Ain't happening. Ain't 6 Republicans going to cross that aisle to vote for Hakeem Jeffries.
Well, not necessarily to vote for Hakeem. Just to make the point clear, there's been some talk about Boehner, Liz Cheney, other individuals who could be a coalition speaker just to get the things going.
I'm going to tell you right now. Listen. Congressman Hakeem
Roland,
Jeffries.
I think there's a deal.
Hold one second. Congressman Hakeem Jeffries has been very strong in holding his caucus together. There is no way in hell all 212 Democrats will vote for Liz Cheney. Nope. Now, I know that's cute.
No, not her.
I know it's... No. What I'm saying is her name has been touted as a compromise speaker candidate. I'm telling you right now, 212 Democrats are not going to hold strong and let her ass become House Speaker. Just because...
Nor should they.
Just because she showed some strength when it came to January 6th. Nah, that ain't happening. Rebecca, go ahead.
I mean, Liz Cheney should not even be in contention. She is a Cheney, and her dad is her dad. Like, we cannot have a Cheney as the Speaker of the House. Like, that's just a no-go. I do think that there is a world where a deal could be cut. At this point, it just has to get to 217. I think the real possibility of those 18 Republicans, there's a very real possibility that at least half of them aren't going to come back unless they have some type of support. And so one thing that we've noticed out of this Republican caucus is that they crave power. That's the reason why McCarthy even got the position that he got. It's the reason why Mike Gaetz has been doing what he's been doing. It's the reason why we've seen Bobert or MTJ acting the way they've been acting, because it's craving pure power. So the idea of not returning back to Congress is enough for some people to go ahead and cut a deal. It's the reason why I'm calling it the prisoner's dilemma, because if Hakeem Jeffries says, hey, look, the first 5 people who come to me and cut a deal, I will cut a deal with you. If you're number 6, you don't get a deal. You got to put some fire under them and let them know there is a deal. It's a limited time only, but you have to come to me. You have to come to me, in the next 12 hours. I do think there is a world in which that could happen. I don't know that happens, but I think
it don't. Ain't happening. I'm telling you right now. If you're the Democrat, I get this whole thing as, we got to do the people's bit. Listen, when people are shooting at each other, this is what you do. You duck. You go, y'all done? No, they ain't done. Then you wait to see how everybody got shot. That's what you do. You let everybody get shot, and then you're like, all right, who got all taken out? That's how you respond. You don't get in the way of a gun battle. And these fools are picking each other off day by day.
But Roland, these folks ain't shooting at each other. Some point. Yeah, these people are wearing suicide vests, Roland. They're willing to blow the whole thing up. And me being
and yes, and you listen, and again.
Unfortunately, they take us out too.
No. See, again, when you say they got suicide vests, evacuate the area, crazy man with a bomb. Again, this is about power. You let them blow the joint up. You do that. It affects the House. It affects the Senate. It affects the presidency. Again, the smartest play of the Democrats so far has been to be strong with 212. Democrats typically the ones, okay, guys, we got to get along. We got to get along. We got to come to a compromise. We got to work something out. Man, no, let them fools sit here and kill each other.
At some point, so, Roland, if this can say 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now, we're in the same place. What happens then? At some
guess
point,
what?
We're going to have a different returns to Democrats.
You don't.
So what is the power play for Democrats?
You don't short circuit it. If you gotta you gotta allow this thing to play out over 3 weeks, you let it. You sit back and go, okay, 2 weeks, okay, 1 week. Now it's crunch time. But I ain't getting in the way right now. I'm gonna let them fools take each other out. I'm going to allow insanity to be exposed. I'm going to allow them going on television, trashing each other. I'm going to allow them dogging each other out. I'm going to let that thing happen, and I'm going to sit here and say, we united, we united, we united. What y'all want to do?
This is almost like 2010 Tea Party. Remember remember the November 2010 election when you had the wave where you had a bunch of Tea Partiers who got elected, and many of them are no longer in the Congress. But the whole point of that Tea Party was to actually stop STEMI and to paralyze the Congress.
Yes.
So right now we're actually seeing the dreams of the Tea Party. We see Congress completely shut down.
Yes.
Nothing's happening. Is that actually good for democracy?
Yes. Okay, listen, guys. I know Democrats love abiding by that Michelle Obama. When they go low, we go high. Hell no. When they go low, you go lower. No, this is about the future of the country. And you let them people, you got folks walking around and talking about, well, look at the moderate Republicans. Ain't no moderate Republicans. They don't exist. You let the crazy be exposed. That's all you do. I ain't sitting here doing nothing. I'm going to let them fools go. And if it goes another week, if it goes 2 weeks, if it goes 3 weeks, now the onus is on them. Democrats can say, we ready, 212 on our side, 5 of y'all come over, we got a speaker. Y'all can't get y'all act together. So guess what? Who's going to get blamed for the government shutting down? The fools who couldn't elect the speaker, the fools who couldn't get along, Matt Gaetz who got rid of McCarthy, then they couldn't elect Scalise, then they couldn't elect Scott, and they couldn't elect Jim Jordan. What they want to do? Man, don't get in the way of somebody losing the game. You don't get in the way.
But extreme Republicans have a lot of support from their... Right? So a lot of the extreme Republicans have tremendous support from their primary Republican voters who are willing to back this. So I don't think we're going to see folks in Scott's district who's going to connect and say, oh, well, I'm not getting my particular benefits because of Scott. That's not going to happen.
Listen,
I think
there are 18,
even McCarthy's district.
There are 18 Republicans who won in districts that Biden won. You do nothing because they are going to feel the pressure. That's why you don't do nothing. Real quick, Joe, before I go to break, real quick.
That's why I think somebody from that space comes to the Democrats and a deal gets done related to McHenry. That's what I think is the most likely scenario, because they're going to need, we all need to do something, but they're going to be the ones that are going to feel the pressure of not being in Congress anymore. And I think, look for that to happen. It's unprecedented in a way. It's been a while, but, desperate times calls for desperate actions.
Listen, I'm telling y'all right now, if any of these Republicans was sitting here trying to reach Democrats, trying to get them to bail them out, man, you don't do nothing. You let crazy be crazy. In fact, if they even called me, all I do is be sitting here like, we ain't even gonna have this conversation. I'm gonna let y'all just go ahead and be nuts.